MKUltra. Picture a hotel room in San Francisco with a two-way mirror on the wall. Behind it, CIA agents are watching a man who has no idea he's been dosed with LSD, no idea the room is a trap, no idea the person who handed him a drink works for his own government. This was real. For over a decade, the CIA secretly tested mind control on American citizens who never volunteered for it. College students, prisoners, mental patients. The counterintuitive part, they weren't trying to destroy minds. They were trying to reprogram them to find out if a person could be chemically rewired to do things they'd never choose on their own. Some subjects lost years of memory, and for decades, anyone who said this out loud was called paranoid. Tuskegee. For 40 years, sharecroppers in Alabama received government letters offering free medical care. They showed up. They trusted the doctors who drew their blood and ran their tests. What no one told them was that they already had syphilis and the doctors already knew. The study wasn't designed to help anyone. It was designed to document what untreated syphilis does to the human body while researchers took notes. Here's what stops people cold. Penicillin became widely available in the 1940s. A cure existed. They withheld it for another 3 decades anyway. The men kept showing up year after year, believing they were being cared for. MKUltra used strangers. Tuskegee weaponized trust, and the pattern was becoming impossible to ignore. COINTELPRO. The most effective way to destroy a movement is not to attack from the outside. You plant someone on the inside. The FBI's COINTELPRO ran for 2 decades, using forged letters, paid informants, and manufactured conflicts to fracture activist organizations from within. But here's the detail most people have never heard. The FBI sent Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. an anonymous letter telling him he had 34 days to take his own life before they released compromising recordings of him. That letter came from a federal agency. The man they wrote it to had just won the Nobel Peace Prize. 3 programs in, and the question is no longer whether this happened. It's how deep the system goes. Operation Northwoods. Somewhere in the National Archives, a document dated 1962 sits in a folder. It's signed. It's stamped. The Joint Chiefs of Staff approved it. In steady, clinical language, it proposes staging fake terrorist attacks on American soil, blow up a ship, frame Cuba, manufacture the justification for war. The plan reached the Secretary of Defense before being rejected, one signature away from authorization. Most people assume this kind of thinking stays at the fringe. This document proves it was sitting at the top. And while the previous programs manipulated and deceived American citizens, Operation Northwoods was the first one that put their lives on the table on purpose. PRISM. Right now, there are servers storing messages between people who believe they were speaking privately. After 9/11, the NSA gained access to the servers of the largest technology companies on Earth, collecting emails, search histories, video calls, and private messages from hundreds of millions of people. Most assume this was covert hacking. Companies knew, agreements were signed. For years, the program was invisible until Edward Snowden released the proof in 2013. The idea that domestic mass surveillance was a conspiracy theory died the day those documents went public. What separates PRISM from everything before it is not method. It's scale, not hundreds of victims, hundreds of millions. Operation Paperclip. The world expected Nazi scientists to face trials after World War II. What happened instead was a quiet arrangement. Given new identities, cleared records, and American salaries. The man who designed the V-2 rocket that killed thousands in England received a NASA office, a security clearance, and a ticker tape parade. Wernher von Braun's government file listed former SS officer. His American biography didn't mention it. The same government prosecuting Nazis at Nuremberg was employing the ones it found useful. That wasn't a contradiction. It was a policy. Heart attack gun. In 1975, a CIA officer appeared before a Senate committee and described a weapon that sounded like something from a spy novel. A dart gun small enough to hide in a coat, firing a frozen dart of shellfish toxin that left only a pinprick on the skin, dissolved on contact, triggered cardiac arrest, and left nothing for an autopsy to detect. The weapon was shown to the committee on live television. It was real, and no one has ever determined how many times it was actually used. Every unexplained death of a dissident, a journalist, a foreign official becomes a permanent question with no possible answer, which was exactly the point. Project Sunshine. A mother buries her child. She has no idea she is not burying all of him. After nuclear testing began in the 1950s, scientists needed to measure how much radioactive fallout was accumulating inside the human body. The highest concentrations were found in recently deceased infants. So without consent, without notifying a single family, researchers across multiple countries quietly collected bone and tissue from deceased children during autopsies. They called it Project Sunshine. The program ran across continents and decades. The families were never told. Every program in this video began with the same silent calculation that what people don't know cannot stop you. The files are open now, all of it confirmed. The only question left is what's still sitting in a classified folder somewhere right now, waiting for someone 30 years from now to open and realize once again that the theory was true.